everybody, my name's Randy. Of course, you're watching the 5-5 Garage, and today I will be continuing on with my Turbo Miata project. I'm going to continue tearing down that motor as well. I'm going to show you guys a couple of problems that I ran into that I did not get recorded for the previous video, but I'm going to show you those today to get you guys up to speed. One of the things I wanted to cover in this video that I wasn't able to cover in the last video is the removal of the crank gear off of the crank snout. And this is my crank gear, and as you can see, I had to perform a little bit of surgery to it to be able to get it off. And what had happened was that my crank key had seized, and when I tried to get it out, it snapped and it broke. And because it broke in there, my crank gear was pretty much seized on here, and I asked a couple of people in the community about what I should do. I tried heat, I tried using a puller, I tried both. I even used PB Blaster to try to lubricate everything. Nothing was working. So eventually I just grabbed a Dremel and cut into the crank gear right above where the crank key was, and then I used a chisel and hammered it down in there to help separate this and relieve the tension on the crank gear. And then once that was done, I was able to just pull it off. And then I was able to get the crank key out, and the actual relief where the crank key sit is not damaged, so that is good. And you can see on the back of this, I actually cleaned this up, but it was much worse. There's a lot of dirt and just nastiness that was in there that helped contribute to all the stuff getting stuck. Now, usually when you go to do a timing belt replacement, you can just, once you remove the bolt from here, all of it should just slide right off. Mine was unfortunately stuck. But you can get these off just by, like I said, cutting a little slot and then using a chisel to crack it open. I already got a replacement piece. I think one of these brand new, I think I paid like 20, 25 bucks for it. I will leave links down in the sheet, the build sheet for this. Don't be surprised if sometimes these get stuck, but you can get it off without damaging your crank. My original plan was just to yank the engine transmission out of the car, replace the rear main seal, drill my oil pan, replace the clutch and the flywheel, and stick it back into the car. Like all projects, my plan has changed. So what I'm going to be doing today is I am going to remove the cylinder head so I can see what condition my pistons look like underneath here. As well, I need to drop the oil pan. When I originally took this engine out as part of my original plan, I kept the oil in it because I was going to drill the pan for my oil return, and it didn't make sense to do it and then have a possibility of getting my fresh oil contaminated. But since now I need to remove the oil pan, I need to drain the oil out of here, so I will be working on that today. And then I'm going to drop the pan after I get the cylinder head off. So I got a lot of stuff that I need to get done today. It is very hot out here, and so I'm going to get started. And as always, if something pops up, I will grab my camera and show you guys what happens. But other than that, I'm going to get to it. Here we are at the cylinder head, and these are the cylinder bolts. Now, what you don't want to do is just randomly start breaking these loose. You actually have to go in the reverse of the tightening sequence. So the tightening sequence goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what you're going to do to take it off is go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you go to take this off, don't just loosen this bolt and then loosen this bolt all the way and then so and such. loosen this one, 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 loosen, 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 loosen some more, loosen some more. You want to go in a pattern. You just don't want to, you know, loosen one bolt completely, because this is an aluminum head and it's under stress. And you are guaranteed to warp or even crack your head if you do this improperly. So, you just need to loosen one and go around, and then come back, loosen some more, go around, come back, and then the final time, go ahead and get them all loose, and then you can lift the head off. Okay, so the cylinder head is off, and it doesn't look that bad. This looks bad. Yeah, that looks like it might be a problem. Feel around at the top, and the carbon buildup at the top isn't too bad. No. And I'm looking at the head gasket here. Get this to come up. So, and the head gasket is off. Now we can get a look underneath. So, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. What is this? Yeah. The only one that's really got me concerned right now is this one. As you see, there is a lot of carbon buildup in here. Not so much in the other ones. The cylinder walls still look pretty decent. But I wanted to get that head off so I could take a look in here and see if there was any problems. I kind of had a feeling that this one was going to have an issue or two. Just said I had some evidence that I had a leak somewhere, and I'm not for sure if the gasket is bad, but now I got this apart and I can look in here and see there's really no like serious scoring on the cylinder walls, so that is making me very optimistic. I am going to go ahead and continue on this, and now I need to get that oil panel off and see what that looks like. Alright, now I got the oil panel off, and there it is down there. And we're taking a closer look, and this windows tray does come off, but you need to remove this pickup first. But I wanted to show that my oil pickup is definitely picking something up. I don't know what this is. Some kind of sealer of some kind. Other than that, that doesn't look too bad. I need to remove these two bolts, and then this comes off. Then I can get this off, and then we can take a look at the crank and the mains that are underneath it. Alright, now I got the pan off and the windows tray off, and we can look in at the crank, and everything looks decent here. Checking from the bottom, I don't see any kind of, I don't see anything that's going to give me cause for worry. There's a little bit there, but that could just be manufacturer stuff. I don't see where anything might have been hit or anything like that. But so now that I got that off, and I can take everything so far, it looks good. So my I was worried about maybe my oil pan leaking, but I can definitely see that it wasn't, so that's good. So my leak definitely came from the top, so that's something that I am going to have to pay attention to when I start putting this back together. This whole piece right here is actually the oil pump, but I think I'm going to stop here for now. I accomplished what I set out to do today. I want to get the head off so I can start taking a look at that and get the oil pan off so I can get started on cleaning that, so I can prep that, so I can drill my drain hole and put the fitting in, but I think we're good for now, so I'm gonna stop right here. And that is a wrap. I was very interested in getting the cylinder head off, so one, I could take a look at the pistons and see what kind of shape they're in. As well, I really want to take a look at the cylinder walls. They look really good, so I am very excited about that because that is less work for me to do in the future. But in order to get a really good sense of what was going on in the engine, I need to pull the pistons out, which is probably going to come in the next video where I pull the pistons and I'm going to take the crank out. So if you are interested in seeing that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you know when that video drops. But for right now, I am very tired. It was a hot one today, but I am satisfied that I got a lot of work done. But for now, I'm going to go inside and take a cool shower and relax and enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you guys are enjoying your day wherever you are, and I will see you guys on the next one.